70 stories in 19 days. Think about that for a second. 70 stories, 7-0, in 19 days. That's what the Daily Mail pumped out about Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. That's insane. No one in the world gets that much attention. No one. Not even Felon 47. This is industrial level bullying. A nonstop assembly line built on one woman's name because it prints money. They don't need substance. They actually don't even need facts. They just need volumes and lies. Keep her in the feed, keep the outrage going, keep the clicks coming. And what exactly are they mad about? She left a system that was abusing her. She built her own life. She makes business moves. She shows up. She speaks, works, earns, exists. That's it. That's what drives 70 stories in 19 days? No scandals, no crimes, no real issues. Imagine if the Epstein files got this much attention. And then there's the haters and the derangers. The human version of a shrug that shows up every day for it. These people whose elevators didn't just stop short, it never left the lobby. Clicking, commenting, reposting, feeding the same negativity like it's a full-time job. And the paper feeds it over and over. And they keep using Meghan Markle, when her proper name is Duchess of Sussex, to control the framing. Keep her boxed in, keeping the audience seeing her the way they've been trained to see her. An audience that sits, stays, and claps on cue, like somebody shook the treat bag. A crowd trained to bark when told, and wag when rewarded. A pack that doesn't hunt. They just wait to be fed the script. And the double standard. Same behavior from someone else gets praised, but from her, it gets turned into a problem. This loop is held up by people who mistake following for thinking. They hear it, they repeat it, they pass it on. They applaud on command because thinking is optional. A crowd that mistakes obedience for intelligence. The kind that sits, stays, and defends the leash like the little trained bitch they are. And that's the read. If you like your tea hot, share it, save your seat, and follow for more. This is the Notorious JTB, notoriously opinionated, signing out.
Finally, someone is saying what we've all been thinking, which is that the Daily Mail is obsessed with Meghan Sussex. And the reason that they're obsessed is because she makes them money. Their hateful articles bring clicks and bring them money. And this worked for the royal family on the other end because they needed to distract from several of their princes. One, Andrew, who at the time was being sued by Virginia Giuffre, and two, William, who at the time was alleged to be having an affair. So the royal family was okay with the Daily Mail going after Meghan Sussex, and the Daily Mail wanted to go after Meghan Sussex because it was making them money, and it still makes them lots and lots of money. And it also still distracts from the fact that William is a lazy and worthless heir.
In the first 19 days of April, the Daily Mail published 70 stories with Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, as the hook for the story on its website. On one day, between 5 a.m. and 3 p.m., it published a story on her every 2 hours. And the following day, it published 3 stories about her in 12 minutes. These are all details that I talk about in my latest article for the New World magazine about the Daily Mail's, as the headline says, the Daily Mail's dangerous obsession with Meghan. What do you think? I think it is obsessed. And interestingly, the response to this article being posted on X has been a load of people equally obsessed with saying horrible things about a woman they don't know. So, yeah, an interesting one. But if you just come here to see Brode, here he is, all snuggled up in a circle shape. Good night.
70 stories, 19 days. That is the avalanche. Every morning, afternoon and evening, new headlines about Meghan Markle appear. They come so quickly, so relentlessly, that the news is simply that there is news. No other public figure is covered like this. Not even the Prime Minister. Not pop stars, not actors, not influencers. 70 stories about one person in less than 3 weeks. It is a flood. It is not news anymore. It is a phenomenon. The result is overwhelming. It's the kind of media attention that can swallow a person whole, all out in the open, every day. There is curiosity, there is interest, and then there is this. The point where news coverage stops informing and starts overwhelming. That is saturation. The coverage of Meghan Markle has crossed that line, again and again. Each story could be about anything. Her clothes, her family, a gesture, a look. It does not matter. It is the repetition that counts. The same details, recycled, repackaged, presented as fresh. The public is not invited to understand. We are invited to judge. This is not about keeping people informed. It is about filling pages, generating clicks, and keeping the cycle alive. The line between what matters and what sells has disappeared. For Meghan, this is not a normal life. It is not even a normal celebrity story. It is something else, something more intense, more invasive. A life lived at saturation point. The press is sometimes described as a machine. With Meghan, the metaphor fits perfectly. It is a conveyor belt. Each day, new headlines are manufactured. The same raw material is fed in. Meghan said this. Meghan wore that. Meghan smiled or did not smile. The process is mechanical. It does not pause to ask if the story is necessary or fair. It just keeps moving, churning out stories day after day. For readers, it becomes background noise. But for Meghan, it is always personal. Each headline is a reminder her life is not her own. There is no off switch. The machine does not rest. It is relentless, automatic, and impersonal. Is this normal? Look around. Politicians are covered, sometimes harshly. Celebrities face gossip and rumour. Even controversial figures get their share of headlines. But no one, absolutely no one, gets the Meghan Markle treatment. Compare the numbers. 70 stories in 19 days. Search for any other public figure and you will not find the same. Presidents, Prime Minister, or refusing to play by the old rules. Whatever the reason, the result is clear. Meghan is singled out. The scrutiny is not matched. The coverage is not normal. She stands apart not by choice, but because the machine has decided she is the story. Imagine living under a microscope. Every move, every word, every silence, examined, dissected, judged. For Meghan, privacy is that everything you do will be interpreted, twisted, and broadcast. It is not just uncomfortable, it is exhausting. There is no break, no room to breathe, no chance to just be. Every moment is a potential headline. Every word is ammunition for the next story. The pressure never stops. This is more than scrutiny. It is surveillance. It is the kind of pressure that can change a person. It is not just unfair. It is inhumane. When Meghan is covered by the press, she is often not treated as a person. She becomes a product, a source of content, a way to sell newspapers or, generate clicks. Her real life, her feelings, her truth, they are all lost in the noise. She is turned into an object, something to be consumed. The stories are not about her, they are about what she represents. Conflict, royal drama, something to talk about. This is dehumanizing. It strips away individuality. It makes it easy to forget that there is a real person at the center of all this. The endless stories, the comments, the debates, they are about an image, not a reality. It is a cycle. The more she is dehumanized, the easier it is to keep the machine running. The more stories are written, the less she feels like a person. The cycle goes on and on. What does it feel like waking up every day to a new set of headlines about yourself? What does it mean to know that millions are judging you, forming opinions based on fragments and rumours? It must feel isolating, like being on stage but behind glass. Even surrounded by people, there must be a sense of loneliness. How can anyone understand? How can anyone relate? The world is watching, but not really seeing. We hope Meghan has support, friends and family to lean on, but even the strongest person would struggle under this weight. It is a burden no one deserves. This is not the price of fame. It is something harsher, colder. It is the price of being chosen by the machine. And the machine does not care about the person inside. At some point we have to ask, what is this really? It is not journalism, not anymore. It is obsession, a fixation disguised as reporting. The goal is not to inform, but to feed a cycle, to keep the story alive no matter the cost. Obsession has no boundaries. It does not ask if it is fair or right or humane. It only asks for more. More stories, more clicks, more outrage. The person at the centre becomes invisible. This is dangerous, not just for Meghan, but for anyone who might be next. If this level of coverage becomes normal, no one is safe. The machine can turn on anyone. We must see the difference between curiosity and obsession. The line has been crossed. It is time to ask what kind of media we want and what kind of people we want to be. Behind every headline, there is a real person. Meghan Markle is not just a story. She is a woman, a wife, a mother, a daughter. She has hopes, fears and dreams. She feels pain and joy, just like anyone else. The media, and we as readers, must remember this. We must demand more humanity, more fairness, more kindness. The machine does not have to be relentless. We can choose to stop feeding it. Let's ask for better. Let's expect more. Let's see the person, not just the headline. Because no one, no matter how famous, deserves to be swallowed by the machine. It is time to bring humanity back to the story. For Meghan and for all who might follow. The headlines may be relentless, but we do not have to be.